Clients will receive from our offices a notification that the matter has actually registered, together with supporting documentation confirming the registration of transfer of ownership. For a purchaser, this will mean that they receive a letter confirming the registration, as well as copies of any of the compliance certificates that might have been required to be given by the seller to the purchaser on transfer. These compliance certificates again will vary depending on the type of transaction and what the parties have agreed to. But in the ordinary course, we have what is termed an electrical compliance certificate. This is in order to ensure that as at the date of transfer, the wiring for the property is of a standard that is supported and is safe. A water compliance certificate, or what is sometimes called a plumbing certificate. This is only required in the Cape Town metropole area because it is a bylaw. Then we get an electrical fence certificate if the property has an electrical fence, a gas compliance certificate, and an invasive species certificate. The ones that are most commonly, that we work with commonly, and what the parties will agree to will be the electrical and the plumbing certificate, and of course if there is gas in the property. These certificates will be provided to the purchaser and a recovering letter from our offices on date of registration of transfer. We often have a question, especially from clients that have held their property for several years, say 10 or 15 years, maybe even longer, and now they are selling the property. And they contact us and they say to us, we have lost the title deed, what can we do? So fortunately for us, there are processes and procedures in terms of the Deeds Registry Act that we are able to apply for a lost or a duplicate copy of an original title deed. This process is required to be completed by way of an affidavit signed by the registered owner of the property, or being duly authorized on behalf of a trust or a company, in which they say that after a diligent search, they have not been able to find the original title deed. The process and application will require an advertising process in order for us to advertise in a local newspaper, circulated in the area in which the property is, for any interested parties to advise if they've got any objections to the deeds office to issue a duplicate copy. Once that objection period has lain open for inspection, the deeds office will issue the duplicate copy to us in order for us to be able to use it, say we are doing a transaction, or to be able to then deliver it to you for your safekeeping. When will I receive my title deed? So if you have taken transfer of a property and you are a purchaser and you registered a bond at the same time as taking transfer of the property, the original title deed and the original mortgage bond will actually be sent to the bank for safekeeping. When you have paid up your bond, or if you've now resold your property, you are required to give notice to your bank of your notice of intention to cancel your bond. The reverse of that is if you have paid cash for the property, or if you use money from an investment and you haven't registered a mortgage bond, the original title deed will be released to us as the transferring attorneys in order for us to pass this on to you. It usually takes about, at this stage in the deeds office, approximately, say 3 weeks or so before the deeds office endorses the title deed, signs off the title deed, gives it its unique registration number for the deeds office to deliver the title deed to our offices. Our offices will then contact you and arrange for the safe delivery of the title deed to you in order for you to keep it in a safe place for when you need it one day. Should you, for example, need it if it's an unbonded property and you wanted to raise finance against the property because you want to build a swimming pool or a granny flat, or in the event that you have now sold the property, we will need the original title deed in order to lodge it in the deeds office for it to be cancelled and a new title deed to be registered in the name of the new purchaser.